Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University and Action Comics 998. So we have Superman and Booster Gold doing the best they can against the Zod family, and they actually do a pretty good job. Plus the Eradicator's there, so yeah, they do a better job, let's say, than the Green Lantern Corps is doing so far. I'm just gonna put that out there, right? So hope beats will, apparently. Anyway, the beatdown ensues, and they're able to get out of Dodge, literally out of that time zone. And they're able to make it all the way back. They're discussing the time frames. Superman does get to actually witness the destruction of his home planet. He had to. He had to be able to see that. And he doesn't do anything about it. He doesn't try and stop it, which is noble. You know what I'm saying? He does get to see that something did pull his father away, so that was actually Jor-El. So this is pretty cool, man. I'm digging it. You know what I'm saying? And Superman finally has some respect for Booster Gold, but he will never have the amount of respect that he should have for him. Why? Because when they get back, Skeets goes and Skeets, who's in a freaking Eradicator armor, which is awesome. Skeets explains how, oh yeah, it looks like your wife and your son are down with her father in La Gambia. He's like, what? Oh no! So he flies down there. After he leaves, apparently his super hearing doesn't quite work anymore. I know that he's in space, but let's be realistic, my peeps. Superman has been in the sun and heard stuff that happened on Earth before. So even though the sound cannot travel like that, somehow it still does to Superman. So I don't want to hear physics. Not in comic books. Not in a DC comic book, that's for sure. And not when we're talking about Superman of all characters. So, just every factor is against you. So Skeets is like, yeah, it looks like Mrs. Lane and her father have been killed, gunned down. So even though he knows he's going to get a lot of trouble for it, Booster Gold does go back in time about 98 seconds, something like that, so that he can go down and stop what was about to happen from happening. And Superman still looks like he saved the day because he takes a mortar to the chest instead of the helicopter. Meanwhile, they were supposed to get gunned down long before that. So once again, Booster Gold proving he is the hero, that the greatest hero that no one knows, that no one's ever heard of. Ah, man, this is perfect. So, excuse me. First off, I'm going to give this comic book an A-. This was a great end to a pretty good story. And this is what I say all the time, guys. This is what I say all the time. For me, the story is never as important as the final issue, you know, as the final telling. If a story wraps up good, you can take whatever else happened, all the little mistakes or blunders or bad words, you know, talking about this story. It wasn't necessarily like that. But even some of the things that I didn't like about it, you know, like about the idea of, you know, oh wow, you know, Lois is such a, you know, she's more powerful than Superman at this particular point, you know. All of that stuff, it's kind of just, you know, brushed to the side because it ended so well. This was great. This was really great. Anyway, guys, yeah, the next issue is supposed to be Zod and the General. So, Zod and the General. No, Zod is finished. So, it's supposed to be Superman and the General. So he's going to be talking to his father-in-law. Interesting. I can't wait to see it. All right, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.